There's a time to build and a time to break down, a time to cry and a time to heal. What does life look like after your season of building comes to an end? Find out tonight with special guest Veronica Bruny, founder of Pop Life Popcorn, and personal trainer and former bodybuilder Kelin Covington. We'll be in for a treat, and it's happening tonight on A New Thing Live. Are you ready? Welcome to A New Thing Live. That was our digital producer that just popped on. Sonia, always good to see you on the screen, girl. I always like to say there's something new that happens every episode, and like seriously, it's like something fun and off the cuff, and we love it. We laugh so hard when we're done with the show because we really do have a good time. But I want to welcome you to A New Thing Live. My name is Cindy Galley, and I have the privilege, the honor, and the fun, and the joy, and the pressure of being the host of this fun new show. This really is a show that's inspired based on Isaiah 54, where the word says, behold, I will do a new thing. And there's something new that God wants to do in our lives if we would just let him, if we would just be open and go, okay, I'm going to make some room for you to do that new thing in my life. And that's exactly what this show is about. So many of you have reached out and say, hey, there's a new book I know I'm supposed to be working on, or there's a new business, or I'm starting some new crafting things, or I'm going to start eating better, or I'm going to start even budgeting. Just so many wonderful things that we love hearing from every one of you. So we're so glad that this show inspires you. I am always inspired by this show. Once I'm off air, I like to go back and watch, and I really do receive nuggets for myself. And I go, wow, that was so good. Some of the guests that we have, they come and they bring their nuggets and pockets of wisdom and humor and love. And we really just have a great time here on this show. So we're so glad that you're here. It's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. We pray that you are safe and that all is well with you and yours. I know that over the years, it seems like Memorial Day has become more of we're going to barbecue, we're going to do this, and we're going to have the relay races and all that good stuff. But really, it is a time to remember and to honor not only those that have served in the military, but those that have lost their lives and have given their lives for this country. There are men and women who have paid a dear price for us to be able to have the freedoms that we do, the freedom of speech, and to be able to just walk around here with freedom. This really is truly, as of now, in Jesus' name, is the land of the free. And it is definitely and truly the home of the brave. And so I don't know about you, but I do. I love my country. I have American hats and cowboy hats and accessories. And then I thought I put this fun little shrug on. The stars are here somewhere. Oh yeah, they're here. Can you see them? Yeah, there they are. So anyway, just wanted to say happy Memorial Day to you. But this is a live show, and this is an interactive show. So wherever you're visiting from, do tell us where you're from. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on Facebook, we want to know where you're coming from. So reach out and just say, hey, this is where I'm at. We have some fun participating things today for the audience and for all of our viewers. So we're excited for those of you that are watching on demand. But if you're watching live, that's where the action is. And so we have a fun little giveaway tonight with one of our guests on behalf of her business. And it's a good giveaway too. So we're just super glad that you're here. So May 31st, not only is it Memorial Day, but also this weekend has just been, with everything opening up, just so many celebrations. And I've been celebrating graduations already for a couple of weeks now. Some of the girls on my team that graduated, that were part of the fashion magazine team. And then also Raylene Coda, she just graduated this year. So we just going to say congratulations to you, Raylene. Congratulations to all the graduates of 2021. Then I want to just do the hugest shout out of all to my brother, Christopher Johnny Galley, who actually, yes, high school graduation is amazing and college is amazing and getting your master's is great. I've had the honor of receiving one of those myself, but my brother just received his doctorate. So he is officially Dr. Galley. I mean, he looks so regal with all of his regalia. I just love it. And no pun intended because my last name is Galley, but he looks great in his regalia. And that's my dad to his left. And that's my beautiful stepmom was to his, let me see. I'm so confused right now. So to the right of the screen, yeah. On the right-hand side is my dad. On the left-hand side is my stepmom. And then her brother who's visiting from Chicago. So it was really a wonderful time. We actually hadn't been together since COVID. And so this was a wonderful, wonderful reason for us to come and to celebrate. It was an all-weekend celebration from Loma Linda University Medical School. It was Friday night, and then the hooding ceremony was Saturday morning, and then the what do you want to, was it the commencement? Let's call it a commemoration. The commencement was yesterday. So congratulations to you, Johnny. Just job well done. So, he's going to move up north for a bit. So we will miss him, but we're just super, super proud of him. And then we had some birthdays, and I know I talked about people walking and graduating. We did have two girls from our team who walked this year, who graduated actually last year. But so we will just give them a shout out too, even though they graduated last year, technically was Elena and Taylor. Congratulations. And Amara, but they graduated in 2020, but they actually got to walk this year because of COVID. They didn't get to walk last year. So, all right. So birthdays though, I have a lot of friends in my family and family that are friends and friends that are family. And so we want to say happy birthday to Julie Ornelas. Julie, we love you, girl. You are amazing. She just had her first baby girl, baby Emma. And so doesn't she look so cute? So Mother's Day it was her first Mother's Day, and then she had her baby, and then her birthday was yesterday. And then today, on Memorial Day, as my good friend, Trish, both of these women that I just mentioned, both of them have been guests on this show before. Julie is the director of Teen Fashion Magazine, and Trish has been on the show as a guest for Rent a Tea Party. So for those of you that, you would love to throw a tea party, a tea bridal shower, a tea graduation party, Rent a Tea Party. She's easy to find on Instagram. And because I'm mentioning her today, I will put her up on our website as well, so that you don't have to look too hard. And then you just go to anewthinglive.com, and then you'll find her information there later this week. Not today, but later this week. Okay, so we're super, super happy. We love having so much fun here. We're always laughing, we're just goofy. We have the goofiest, most loving, funnest, crazy, creative team ever. And so we were super excited. Can we just say that today we were so happy that it was National Smile Day? We're like, woo! We have an official reason to smile. We're always smiling anyway, but today is National Smile Day. So we just wanted to give a big shout out, and we've said this before. I've said this before. Anybody can just, be grumpy and frown, but there is just something so beautiful about smiling. In fact, I was just thinking, I'm just going to smile for maybe so let's see how long I can smile. I'm going to smile for a few minutes. Okay, I'm just going to smile. I'm going to try to smile without laughing. I'm just going to smile. See, doesn't that make you happy? It makes me happy. So for those of you that love to smile, would you just beam your pearly whites or your pearly yellows if you're like me, a coffee drinker, is maybe pearly tans. But I am going to be doing the Crest White strips because my birthday's coming up. And I'm like, no, when I hit 52, my teeth are going to be pearly white. So, but just make an effort this week. you might just be in a grumpy mood, or you might just have had something really bad, going on in your life. And I'm just going to add, like, this week, let's just be people that smile no matter what you're going through. Look at somebody may frown at you. Maybe now that things are opening up and people are still going through it, there's still pressure. People are like anxious and still walking in fear. Me, I still go out with double masks. Please don't judge me, but I do. But you could still see that smile coming on. So, if someone's being mean to you, or they're cutting you off, like, the easy thing would just be to retaliate. But I'm going to say, like, let's be a community of a new thing. Let's do a new thing. Let's do something different. So smile, right? So someone's going to cut you off, or someone's going to be honking at you, and you just say, you know what? I'm going to bless you. I'm going to bless you with the love of the Lord. In Jesus' name, have a great, great week. And this is something that kind of hit me once, and then we're gonna move on with our next part of the show. But I remember one time driving, and somebody had cut me off, and they were acting all crazy on the freeway. And the thing that I wanted to do, I wanted to drive up next to them and be like, "What are you doing?" And then I will say, it was a still small voice just said, "Don't let that be your last interaction with that person." And I was like, wow. That was intense, because, I would probably never see that person again. And so rather than letting that be your last experience or interaction with that person, like, let yours be one of blessing, and let it be one of joy, and just one of life. So happy National Smile Day to you. And of course, there's so many health benefits. We'll list them up on our website, but there's great health benefits, and it's contagious, right? It's so contagious, smiling. And it really does not just do your body good, but it does good for the other person who's watching you smile on the other end. So let's celebrate National Smile Day all week long, all month long, all for the month of June, all year long, all for the year 2021, and then all decade long. Okay, so let's just give that smile to everybody. Okay. And now, because we, a couple of things that we're going to do, because we really do believe in smile, we want to encourage people to smile. This is where the audience here's where the audience participation comes in, is we're going to be giving away a yummy, yummy, yummy bag of Pop Life popcorn, because everybody needs a thrill, right? Pop, life. Okay, love this title. I mean, every time I talk about Pop Life popcorn, I can't even mention without doing that. So one lucky winner today from Pop Life popcorn, and it'll be today. So what you need to do is take a picture, a selfie of you. So selfie, smiling with your Pop Life popcorn, and put it on your IG story. You don't have to put it up in your feed, but tag Pop Life Thrill and tag a new thing live, or a new thing live. And then your name will be entered into a contest today, for a drawing today, to win Pop Life popcorn. And it's a yummy bag of hot, I keep looking over here because I've got an Instagram live on too. It's a yummy bag of hot tamales, hot tamale flavor. So that's, for those of you that love candy, that is going to be so much fun. And I'm excited because I'm going to be busting this out during our interview with the founder and CEO of Pop Life. And by the end of the show, we will be announcing who that wonderful winner is. So take a picture, a selfie, not with your popcorn. Actually, I said with your popcorn. I can do it with my popcorn, but you won't have to do it with your popcorn, because you won't have your popcorn yet. So just take a selfie and say it's Happy National Smile Day and wanting to win popcorn. Or you don't have to say that, but Happy National Smile Day, and then tag a new thing live and tag Pop Life Thrill. And then there you have it. There you're entered, and then we'll announce by the end of today. And last but not least, because we're really pushing the smile envelope, right? We're pushing that today. Like, we just want people to smile, like, let it come from the inside out, and then from the face down. The team decided to do a little game with me because I love smiles. And so they said, okay, we're going to do a fun little game, and it's going to be called Name That Smile. So I don't know whose smile they picked. But I have to guess the smile. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube or Facebook, just feel free to chime in. If you know who it is, I won't look at the chatter. But okay, I know this has to be quick. So on your mark, get set, go. Smile number one. Aww, Princess Kate. Kate Middleton, we love you. We love the royals. We love Queen Elizabeth. We love the family. Yes, Kate Middleton. Okay, awesome. Next. Oh, dear. Okay, so I don't know his name, but it's that cute little actor from Downton Abbey. It's Tom Branson. And he recently was a little Hallmark thing, a little St. Patty's Day, but I don't know his name. But it's the actor from Downton Abbey. Yes, aka Tom Branson. Oh, I love it. He's got a great smile. Okay, next. Oh, oh my gosh. Really? Darth Vader, that is not even a smile. Oh, that's my girl, SJP, right there up in the house, all the way back from, yes, Sarah Jessica, all the way back from when she was in Square Pegs. I loved her all the way back to Square Pegs. Hello, is my camera there? There you go. All the way back from a TV show called Square Pegs. Love Sarah Jessica. I fell in love with her then. She was just fun and quirky and cute, and her comedic timing was just impeccable. And then girls just want to have fun. So much fun. And then Footloose. I mean, I love the girl. And then there was some other, I remember she didn't have the best role in First Wives Club, but she was a hoot. But she made you not like her, which means she was doing her job. Anyway, yes, that's my girl, SJP. Are there any more? Oh, yes, my UK boy, George Michaels. Is that George Michael? Yes, he had, oh my goodness, yes. Wonderful one. Are there any more? Did I win? Do I win Pop Life Popcorn? Oh. What? I win. Great job. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Okay. Well, we're super excited about our next guest, or our first guest, actually. And I'm going to tell you what, because we love smiling, this woman's going to also bring the smile out in you. But before we go there, before we bring her out, we have one quick message to you from A New Thing Live. So don't go away, like 45 seconds tops, and we'll be right back. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker. It was like, whoa. When I see you at church, I'm going to do the whoa. And you're going to be like, whoa. I want to hear it. I'm going to see it. I want to smell it. I want to hear it. Give you the word and give you pan dulce. I'll fall asleep and it's like I'll wake up in the morning and I go, oh, my blush is still up.
The gorge.
Deliver me! Like seriously, I was screaming, Jesus, help me! Je t'aime Paris, je t'aime Paris.
Oh, oui, oui, mademoiselle.
If you haven't yet, don't forget, subscribe to A New Thing Live.
Your husband is crazy, okay? He just said, can I get her phone? No. Oh my goodness. I just have to say, truly, I feel like we are the most blessed show ever because of all these wonderful guests that the Lord brings. And, brilliant people who are courageous. Everybody has a different story. Everybody's gone through something different. And yet here they come on the show and they're just willing to be real. They're willing to be raw. They're willing to tell us and share, like, this is what I went through. And this is why I am where I am now. And this is how I got there. And I just have to say, as I look at some of those quick, fast cuts, it gives me warm fuzzies. It really does give me warm fuzzies because I just get so blessed and my heart is so touched with each guest that we've had has just been wonderful. And so now our first guest of tonight's show, she is no different. This woman is amazing. She is so courageous. She's so much fun, super creative. And I have to say, there's something about somebody who can get blindsided from the side and then just bounce right back up. but I know that she's going to tell you more than what I just did. And so would you welcome with me today, Veronica Bruny, the founder and CEO of Pop Life Popcorn. Hello there, lady. How are you?
Yeah, I got the smile. You see that? Giving it all out to everybody.
Girl, yes,
Yes.
I see it. So good to see you. How are you?
It's good to see you too. I'm good. I'm great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Listen, I need everybody needs an introduction like that. I mean, my goodness, I feel like let's go.
Let's go,
ready.
girl. Let's go.
I'm ready.
Well, I have to tell you, I mean, so you and I have only known each other for maybe 3-4 months. It hasn't been too long. Were you at the very first fellowship market in December? Did you come right out? Okay. So you started this year, 2021.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, well, I have to tell you, I mean, you just bring such joy with you. And there's just this like this gathering. It's like your vendor table is the gathering place. And I know it's not just your popcorn.
I like to believe it's just the popcorn, really.
It's
so
both.
Good.
It's both. You're very warm.
Thank you.
And you're just a joy and so much fun to be around. And so, and I've loved having you a part of the fellowship market. And then, girl, y'all be coming out with some flavors. So, okay, I'm going to bust this one open right now.
Yes. Get your daily dose of vitamin C.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, yeah. So is there vitamin C in popcorn?
No, that's vitamin C as in cheese, girl.
Eat cheese. Girl, this is good.
Yes.
That's
our best seller right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I do that. I send that out daily to people.
Unbelievable.
Yay.
Wow. So I wanted to say for the show, last week I was eating your strawberry lemonade, which was bomb.
Thank you.
It was so good that I kept saying, I just want to get almond milk and pour it in there and eat it like cereal.
Like cereal. I have to agree with that. I did that with our maple pecan and it tastes like Honey Smacks. Oh. You have to eat it quick though, so it doesn't get all soft and soggy. But I just figured I'd experiment with it one time. I poured some milk on it. Oh my gosh, it blew my mind. And in fact, if you go on my Facebook, you'll see my reaction. I was actually like, what did I just do here? This is fabulous.
I love that. Well, gosh, it sounds like you have, you're just being able to be real creative and think outside the box with different flavors that you can make, which I think is great. Michelle Daniels is chiming in on YouTube saying, my favorite is caramel and cheese.
Oh, yes. I have the caramel cheddar that I have. It's cheddar popcorn dusted in the cheese. So rather than having both like two separate popcorns, just put the whole doggone thing together and have the whole party in your mouth at one time. I mean,
seriously, wow. I love it. Well, someone's going to win some popcorn today. The hot tamale.
And I'm going to double that, as a matter of fact, for you. So whoever wins, I'm going to add 2 more flavors. I'll throw in the pink lemonade and the pina colada. I have pina colada and our spring medley, the spring fling.
Oh, what's in the spring fling? Tell me.
Spring fling has got watermelon, banana, mango. There's 5 flavors. Don't let me forget. Pina colada's in there and one more.
Wow, that is a party in your mouth. When I was looking at it was your Instagram. I felt like I saw a post that had Lucky Charms on there.
Yeah, that was for March.
Oh, I missed it because I love Lucky Charms. And I said, how in the world did I miss this popcorn? So I'm looking forward to just seeing all the new little flavors that you come out with. But, it's so exciting and encouraging to see you're trying all these new flavors, but popcorn making is something that's fairly new to you. Right? Yes. And so, when we met, you were just sharing, this is kind of fairly new to me. I just launched my business during COVID. So talk to us about that, because I mean, I know that there are people that they've said, okay, I need to do something else because this is not working right now, or this is no longer existing right now. So now I'm going to do this. Talk to us about, how did this all impact for you? And what was that like? What was the process? What was the circumstance? Because I want to know, but I want everyone else to know as well.
Absolutely. Honestly, I was a banker before, and then I just got tired of that life, and I really wanted to pursue some creative ways. And so it kind of all started that I became the media in my church that I was attending. And I did that for about, since 2009. So however long that is, a long time. But COVID shut the church down. And so then there went that. I wasn't doing that anymore. And unlike in the past where I was transitioning between jobs, I mean, had this happened to me even 10 years ago, I probably would have been sobbing all over the place because I felt, you feel old. Well, I'm older. I know I have a young face, but hey, I feel old sometimes. And I think that people aren't going to hire me. And where do I go from here? What kind of position do I get? But now we're in COVID and I can't go anywhere, and I'm home and I'm trying to figure out what to do. And always the thing, though, that I'm learning is that I can't continue to try to figure it out. Like I'm the one that has the answer for my life, because I realize that I'm set for a purpose. And so the truth of the matter is God's the one that's got to guide me. So I kind of had just started school. I was taking one class because I was going to go slow and easy. So I was just taking the one class and kind of, searching online, like, how do I do this and what do I do? And then I tell you the truth. People always say, how did you get into it? And I always say, God. Absolute truth. I just heard that, like, look up popcorn. And I thought, okay, but like, I'm not a huge popcorn fan. I like it, but it's not like my favorite thing. Now, my children and my husband, sure, they eat popcorn all the time. So I started looking and kind of investigating. And then the creative side of me kicked in. I started seeing like, oh, okay, I could make the logo. And because you have to understand that everything I'd done before in my life up to this point, photographer, graphic artist, all these things, building websites, so on and so forth, all of a sudden were just kind of all coming together. I started thinking, well, okay, I can create something fun. And I don't even remember what the first name was that I had for it, popped up or something crazy like that. But then someone said pop, my family said Pop Life, and that was it. Then you already know. I mean, like you, I started singing the song and doing the thing, and I was like, yes, this is it right here. So then I just started, the creative side was great. I created all the graphics, the logo, I built the website, all this stuff, and I had originally asked somebody to do the website for me. And that was kind of my insecurity. I got very insecure, like, oh, I can't do this. Let me have someone else do it. But then it wasn't kind of forming the way I pictured it in my head. So I was like, forget this. 1:00 in the morning, I jumped on the computer and I built the whole site. And I was like, exactly. And that was the whole point, that God kept trying to remind me, like, I can do this. This isn't something that I can't do. I've been very afraid to be entrepreneur, if you will, or own my own business, whatever you want to call it, because I'm a 9-to-5er. I mean, it's just kind of the security I grew up under. And so to go out on my own was kind of very crazy notion. No way. Are you kidding me? I can't own my own business. It's silly. But I started noticing I could do all these things. I take my own photos for my own product. I do all of that, right? But then here's the thing. So now you actually have to know the business side of it. So there's that part of me, that the banker side, it kicked into. Of course, I didn't think the banking was going to be anything, but sure enough, it did, because that's the analytical part of me that says, all right, the order and the structure of looking up, what do I need, what licenses, insurance, so on and so forth, and then going from there. Now, honestly, I wasn't going to go out and sell this. I was going to strictly be in online sales and go that route. And then a girlfriend from high school made mention of the fellowship market. And I was like, well, let me see, because a couple other places we had tried said no, because food during COVID and so on and so forth. And I just said it was prepackaged, and there it just went from there. There, voila, there I was at the fellowship market. So this has been truly a God-driven business. And I don't even lie when I say that I consult with him in the mornings, because sometimes I just don't know what I want to do. I have a husband who swears I'm already selling all of my popcorn in Dodger Stadium, but for me, I'm like, slow down, that's too far. No, 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 not yet, not yet. It's too fast for me. And I'm just trying to honor God's pace in my life and honor what He's asked me to do, and not be afraid. Well, I say not be afraid, but I have a thing that says, do it even if you're afraid. I stay afraid sometimes regularly, but I'm learning to just do it. Like, it's okay. You can just come along with me as a friend, because I'm going to show you something today. So that's pretty much the road that has gotten me here. I'm still small. I don't, maybe I'll grow bigger and maybe I won't. But in the meantime, I'll say this real quick too, because I don't want to like seem like I talk so much.
Girl, do you.
But I struggled with for a little bit. This is honest truth. Coming from ministry, and then not ministering and trying to figure out, like, how do I still do that? How do I serve people? How do I, infuse that into what I'm doing? And I couldn't figure it out. It just didn't seem like, well, do I put a scripture on the package? I didn't know what to do. Right. So
because the word pop is in the Bible. Just kidding.
Well, see, I'm like, dang, there you go. Let me look that up right now. Look, I got my Bible right here. I'm going to look it up real quick. Let's see.
Well, the word life is. So.
Life is, that's right. But then you said something the last market, and you talked about the joy that I brought to everybody. And I thought, thank you, God. I totally understand, what I'm doing. It's not the popcorn. The popcorn is fun and yeah, it's creative, but it allows me to be me, what I've been called to do, to be encouraging, to be loving towards others. I'm not like patting myself on the back like, oh, you're so good, Veronica. But it's my spirit, it's my heart. I don't know how to be any other way. And He's taken everything that I've experienced in my life and brought it to this. And this is where I am. I fought tooth and nail, though, because I kept saying, well, let me just apply for this job and let me just apply for that job. But every time I started to, he would just say, no, you just need to focus on what you're doing right now. And that's it.
Wow.
So there's it.
Girl, you said a whole lot in a little bit of time. And I'm just chuckling because there's a lot of chatter happening on YouTube right now.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Like someone's chiming in about your chocolate chip popcorn, and then someone else is chiming in about the mint chocolate.
I have all kinds of stuff. I like to get creative with it.
I love that. And a couple of things that you said. Initially, when you just were talking about how, God was able to use everything that you've done, so you have this foundation of your gifts, your skills, your experience. And then there is that little part that's like, I don't know how to this, so there was probably some learning, like you said, how do you make popcorn? I don't think out the gate you came out making 12 different flavors, I think.
What I did is I really figured out what I wanted. And then, to be honest with you, I people always ask, do you make it? I actually have it manufactured now, because it's just I realized the volume, and then you have to have I live in a tiny apartment and I don't have a big giant kitchen, but it didn't hurt to say, to reach out and say, oh, hey, this is what I want to accomplish. Because, they always say about your vision, it's not just you by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. It's kind of small if you do. So you just I had to be brave enough to reach out and ask somebody like, hey, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. And that's
so good. That is so good. Yeah. So being brave is part of it. There might be somebody watching. I know that the last couple of weeks I did have somebody reach out, and they said, every time you say, be available and be open to that new thing that God wants to do in your life, they said, I know I'm supposed to write a book, and they said, every time you say it, it's like, oh, I'm reminded, like, get started on that book, but it always just takes that first step. There's just that first step, that first thing that you need to do, that each of us need to do. And of course, there's so many other things that follow. But I think sometimes if people would start thinking about all the other things, then they would get overwhelmed. And it's like, just do that one thing.
Yeah.
What is that one thing? Are you supposed to just go and fill out an application somewhere? Are you supposed to open up, look and see if it's available on mydomain.com? You know, I mean, just start with that one step. And then I feel like when you do that, then the pieces of the puzzle kind of start coming together. And then you realize, oh, I can build a website.
Yeah.
First of all, I just want to say your branding is so much fun.
Thank you.
I love like that cartoony look and the girls and the bright, you know, I mean, it's just so much. Oh yes. And there's your different popcorn. That alone right there, that just screams comic strip and fun.
That's the exact thought I had when I was doing it.
Yes. You know,
was the comic strip. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, you know, I think there's just something to be said. Yeah, maybe the first step is you just sitting down and saying, if I were to open my business, if I were to become an entrepreneur, what could the name be? And that's the thing. I feel like so many times people are afraid because they don't have all the answers. Well, you won't have all the answers in the very beginning. Yeah. So you said in the beginning, your first name was not Pop Life. It was Popped or something, you know, it was something different.
Yeah, it totally was something different. And I totally agree with you. I had to shut my brain off. I know it sounds weird, but I'm constantly thinking like 24/7. And I had to just shut it off and sit there and, you know, look at stuff and just let it soak in. I didn't really try to go like, okay, I'm gonna do this popcorn and then I start writing everything down. No, it's just like you said, it had to be one step at a time. Today, the thought was, oh, okay, so yeah, what would be a good name? And then the next thought was, you know, I would feel that prompting to just, like you say, fill out this and actually, as a matter of fact, you said it, I just went to check to see if the name was available online for a website. And then it was, and then I was like, okay, I could do that. But each little thing just seemed to be easy. Like I didn't feel the anxiety that I expected to feel, that I'd already felt before of trying to do something on my own. And so each little thing, but it really was just shutting it off and just kind of walking where I was supposed to go. And it just seemed to be so easy. And that's when you start looking around like, wait a minute, am I supposed to be doing this? But it was, because it was so easy. It was so smooth. And that's something not to be afraid of, because that can give anybody anxiety too. I'm telling you. You. So, yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And there's some wonderful, you are truly loved, because there's some wonderful comments here. Somebody said, God made you to reflect a unique trait of his. Shine, girl. And there's so many things about authenticity. Truly, it is the best marketing strategy. That's what Stacy's saying. And I couldn't agree. You have to be you. You have to be you. And I love hearing that as you stepped out in this business and just taking one step at a time, you really felt like it was giving you the opportunity to be 100% who you were, shining, bringing joy, bringing color, bringing pop.
Everybody needs a thrill. Prince, I'm telling you, Prince was the man. He understood life.
I know that song. I mean, all day we've been singing. We'll be looking at each other like pop, life. You know, we're like, oh yes, tonight it's going to be so much fun. The other thing that you said, which I think is so important, is honoring God's pace. So beautifully said, because there is a pace. I can tend to go a little bit faster, and I've gotten ahead of God in the past. This time it's like, I don't want to go until I know that I know that I know that you're saying to go. But sometimes it can be easy to want to get ahead of God. And so what a nugget right there for anybody. And that's not just in regards to entrepreneurship. That's everything and anything. Life. Honor God's pace. Yes, life. Honor God's pace. You know, timing is everything. And you know, even in prepping for tonight's episode, you know, our next guest, you know, she did a lot of building. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to give too much away in her past. And so the whole Ecclesiastes, 3 came to mind, how there's a time a time to build, a time to tear down, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn. And to everything, there really is a season. And so, sometimes we just want to get ahead because this is the society that we live in. But I think for us, it's important to remember, let's build line upon line, precept upon precept at the pace that God has ordained already for you. He's already ordained it for you.
Yeah.
So go at the pace that he's already ordained. And then, like what you said, then things just come together so easily. And it's like, you almost feel like you're not lifting a finger, even though you are really working.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it comes together so beautifully that it's not this striving, and you don't feel like you're going against the goads. You feel like the wind is carrying you. And literally it's because he is, and he's backing you up because it was his plan all along.
That's 100% truth.
Yes. Yes. And then I love that you said this, and you said this even on, when you were first, you were emailing about the show, you said that you do it afraid.
Yeah, I do.
Talk to us about doing it afraid. I love that phrase. I know there's a book that's called Do It Afraid. I don't know if it's Joyce Meyer. I can't remember. But talk to us about what that means for you to do it afraid.
Well, I'm mad that Joyce has a book. I should have written it first. That's what I should have done.
Maybe it's not Joyce. I'm going to have to.
No, that's okay. That's okay. No, because real truth, I have always lived my life afraid. That's 100%. I'm saying it out to the whole public right now, but I had to explain to my oldest daughter, who's 24, one time when she was in college, that I've lived my life completely afraid of everything. I'm afraid of getting in trouble. I'm afraid of making mistakes. I'm afraid of a lot of things. But I noticed, of course, now that I'm older, I look back and I think but I've been doing it though, regardless of the fact that I've been afraid. I just keep getting up and I keep putting one foot in front of the other and I keep going and I cry through it all. I know a lot of people say, I've heard things like, oh, you're too sensitive and whatever. I call it passion. Jesus cried, so can I. So I don't know what else to tell everybody, but I just do it. I get up and I do it afraid. And it took me realize this situation to realize that. And so I remember it brought back a memory of me and her sitting in the car one time, and I was just telling her all of this. I'm finally confessing to my child, your mom's not the God that you think she is. She's not perfect like you think she is. I know we all think our kids think, oh, we're so lovely, but I was like, sorry to shatter your dreams, dear sweetheart, but your mommy's a scaredy cat, but I get up and I do it anyway, and I want you to do the same. And so I realized that it takes a lot. I'm more conscious. I'm more aware of it now compared to before. I was just doing it. I couldn't have told you this before, but I'm very conscious now of that's what it is, and that but what I'm in knowing that, I know who to go to directly now to say okay, God, look, I'm afraid, and I really don't know if I should be doing this. As a matter of fact, I'm not even gonna lie, I almost gave up doing the popcorn because I thought, oh, this is not really, what am I doing? Why did I have to pick the most labor intensive thing to get into? Why couldn't I just I don't know, be a writer or something, or I could just sit at the computer
just on the beach, just letting the thoughts come to you.
Right. But instead, here I was. But then sure enough, the minute I do that, the minute I go over to the fear, God just counters that with something. The high school next to us called, we need 200 bags of popcorn. I'm like, okay, right. So, it's those kinds of things. Then they say never. Then I just go, okay, never mind. I was kidding, God. I'm not afraid. Who's afraid? I'm okay. So it's a constant like that. I'll get afraid, then he'll show me, and then I'll go, oh, that's right. Why am I being afraid? And the more I do that, the less afraid I've become. The less afraid I become. I just, like I say, I'll bring it with me. I used to use this comparison. I ride the motorcycle, and then you have that little compartment next to you. Just throw it in the compartment right there, close the lid, and then just keep driving. You just come with me.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's my road.
Girl, it's so good. As you're sharing, this is what's coming to mind is where he says, have I not commanded you in Joshua 1:9? Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you. Not sometimes,
Yeah.
not when I want to be, and not when you want me to be, but it says, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And that's Joshua 1:9. And that's just, even as you're sharing, he's reminding even me. He's talking to me. You're talking to me. He's talking to me through you. Because and this is a show about transparency. So when I've shared some stuff, and later on when we go off air, and I'm like, why did I say that? I'll ask the team, why did you guys let me say that? And we just laugh, but it is scary. Doing this show for me is scary. And every week I'm fighting a battle about it. Every week. It's never just like, oh, here. No, it's like there's a battle, there's prayer, there are tears, and even though I do have an outgoing personality, it's very interesting. I love being by myself. So I prefer not being, it's interesting, because I'll play the piano. I lead worship. The Lord has given me the ability to teach the word. And when I'm in those environment, I think in that environment, it's a little bit different, I think, because it's, you're reading and you're just ministering in that way. But so, for example, the fellowship market, when I'm doing the raffles, I am freaking out internally. I'm like, why am I up on this stage doing the raffles? I don't know what I'm saying. People can't hear me. Am I naming off the wrong? Am I saying the name of the vendor wrong? And I'm freaking out. Like every month, I'm like, it's a struggle for me to get up there and to be like, welcome to the fellowship. It really is, and so it's just interesting because even though somebody say, well, you're talkative. Well, yes, I'm talkative, but, talking to a person is different than, when you're talking and you're doing this, you're putting yourself out there, people have opinions and all that. So anyway, all that to say, there's just something to, you said you get your direction from God. You get that. So that's where you're drawing your strength from. That's where you're drawing your creativity from. That's where you're getting your plan of action from. That's where you're getting your strategy from. And he's just done something so beautiful in you and through your popcorn. It really blessed me when when I said, what would you like people to know about your product? And you said that Pop Life is inspired to support the pursuit of all things thrilling as a reminder to treat yourself daily.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be in agreement with you that is exactly what your popcorn does, because that is something so special, especially right now with everything that's going on. We already get a lot of pushback from people even before where we're at today. But so just a beautiful gift, a treat, that even in the treat of eating this yummy popcorn, that you are reminded, to pursue those things that are thrilling, and that you're reminded that it's important to treat yourself, be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, love yourself, because you do matter. Every person matters. Every person.
I agree.
White, Black, Asian, Hispanic, Indian, every person, Filipino, every person matters. Every color matters. Every race matters. My mom and dad, I grew up with all nationalities. So I just always, we grew up living in LA, but we had everything. So I just grew up loving every nationality to me, and I'm so thankful for that. And then of course I'm mixed too. So that, helps as well. Yes.
I do know.
Yes, girl. I know. But that's a whole other conversation. We'll have to have you back.
Oh gosh, I got lots for that too. I'm like you though. I'm saying I'm like you. I know this, but I'm also very internal. That's why I think so much. But it's just because I take it all in and I figure it out. And I try to listen. My biggest lesson this year has been to trust God and not be so afraid. And I realized the popcorn kind of does that. It's I promise you, this is not a brag right here, what I'm about to say. But when I was at the market the other day, everyone kept saying, like, oh, how are you doing? How you doing? And I'm like, I sell popcorn. I'm doing great. I mean, people walk up, they taste it, they love it, they go home with it, or if they even make it to the car with it a lot of times, right? But it's just that I envision it. I have friends who tell me, they sit there and they put their feet up and they're smiling and they're eating the popcorn and they're happy. And I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better to, give to people than that. If that's what I give right now in the world, that's what I give, is some great fun popcorn. I'll go to heaven knowing that I did something.
Yes, you absolutely have done much, and there is much more for you in the works, and I'm excited to see what that is, because you are being faithful and you're honing in on your craft, girl. I mean, I was like, oh, how did I miss the Lucky Charms popcorn? But this to me I love the sweet and the salt together, so I'm super excited about finishing
Those
off
are our
that
shirts
bag.
right there. That's my other side business, is because of the graphic thing. We print shirts, we design shirts. And so those shirts we did those ourselves. It makes me so happy to think I did that.
Yes. Well, you are so talented.
Thank you.
You are
Just a little
inspiring
bit.
and you are so talented. A lot of it. A lot of it. I'm so excited. Well, is there anything else? We wanted to do a fun little popcorn and pop trivia with you before we said goodbye. But is there anything else that you would want to leave our viewers with before we do?
That's a good question. I'll say this. Maybe you can imagine yourself swimming in the ocean, and it's dark, and I mean, maybe much like the story, I never really thought about it as I'm saying it, but the winds are blowing and it's just the waves are ridiculous, right? And you don't even know how you're doing it. But this is how I envision my life, kind of. I'm constantly swimming in this storm on a regular basis. And it's probably just all in my head. But off in the distance, though, I always see the light. That's the thing, is I know what I'm swimming towards. And I know that's God. And so I know that he's there, really kind of with me. So it doesn't bother me that things are the way they are sometimes, or that they didn't go the way I wanted them to go, or however that may be. But there's hope. There's hope in whatever you believe in. It could be God, it could be Jesus, could be, Buddha, it could be whoever you believe in, I guess. But you've got to find that peace. And the peace sometimes even comes in just stopping in the middle of all of that. Close your eyes and just know that it's going to be okay. It really is. Whatever choice you make the mistakes. I tell my kids all the time, make the mistakes. From the very girl that is afraid to make them, I tell them, make the mistakes, do it afraid, and don't panic. That's I haven't ever said that. Don't panic. That's my number one thing I teach my children. Don't panic, no matter what, because you can have much more clearer head to get what you need. If God says run, but if you're panicking, you're not going to hear that. There you go. It's my wisdom. I dropped it.
Oh, so good. So good. Well, thank you. I mean, yeah, there's so many wonderful things that you shared. And so super excited. And we're just now in the process of this show, making it in Espanol, even though it'll be Spanish subtitles, but we'll have two versions within the week. We'll have a YouTube version that's all the description and the titles in Spanish, but then the subtitles are in Spanish. So all kinds of new things happening here, but it is scary. We do it afraid, and we will make mistakes. You will make mistakes. I think that's absolutely wonderful advice to give, because know that you will.
You will.
You go to our very first episode, very first one, you'll be like, oh.
Yeah. You make a lot of them. Yes, I totally understand.
Yeah, but we love
bags. I thought the bags were this big and they turned out to be this little. Yes, I know. I've made plenty of these.
It's fun. It's a nice little learning curve that we get, but God is so faithful in leading us, and we continue to, as long as we continue to abide in him, and you allow him to speak to you about what needs to be done,
absolutely,
then he's going to lead you to it if you listen and you take those steps of faith. So, okay, popcorn trivia.
Okay.
Before we say goodbye, here we go. Quick questions. Okay. Number 1, how much popcorn does the average American eat each year?
5 tons.
Of yours, yes. 17.3 billion. And those of you that are watching, feel free to chime in on YouTube or Facebook. So 17.3 billion, 17.3 million, 17.3 thousand, or 17.300. How much popcorn?
B. Let's go with million.
With million. Okay, the correct answer is 17.3 billion. The average American eats 17.3 billion popcorn each. That's a lot of popcorn. Girl, you're in the right business.
I'm in the right business. Thank you, God.
Yes, I love it. Okay, here's another quick question. About 70% of popcorn sold in America is eaten where? Movie theaters or at home?
Movie theaters. Oh, not during pandemic though. At home.
You're right. The right answer is at home. 70% of popcorn sold in America is eaten at home. Wow. Okay, number 3. What are the 2 colors on an old-fashioned popcorn bucket?
Oh, red and white.
That's it. Red and white. No.
I forget there's multiple choice. I'm just jumping in like I know all the answers.
No, it's all good. Red and white is the right answer. Okay, popcorn comes in 2 shapes. What are the shapes? Raindrop and circle, snowflake and mushroom, octagon and star.
The snowflake and mushroom.
Snowflake and mushroom is the right answer. Very good. Yes, girl. Yay. And last question, ding, 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 is which country consumes the most popcorn? And it's just one country.
Haiti? I'm just kidding. I don't know. America. Yes.
Yes, it is America.
We're consumers to the nth degree.
It is. Absolutely. It is America. It is America. So thank you.
You're welcome. Let me tell you, can I tell some of the flavors real quick that are coming up for
Come on. Tell us your flavors. Okay. Yes, we want to know.
It's summertime. So we've got pink lemonade, we've got watermelon, we've got barbecue. We still gonna have the hot tamale. I got a new blazing mango, but I'm doing that because a lot of people at the markets ask for that with the tahini all over it and stuff.
Yes.
Okay. And the pina colada, of course, is making its comeback. And then the 4th of July sale, I'm going to sell the red, white, and blue popcorn, $4 a bag. It's coming. So just make sure, go to the website, give me your email. I'll send you the notifications. And I change every month. Every month I'm doing new flavors. Holiday flavors come up. So,
I love that. Absolutely. I'm excited about that. Are you going to be at the next fellowship market this month?
I am. Yes. Okay. I'm bringing all of the 4th of July popcorn. So I know that's going to go out real quick. And then I'll have some of these new flavors there as well.
Yes. And we just put your website up on YouTube, but let's go ahead and pull her information up as well. Her Instagram and Facebook is at Pop Life Thrill, and then her website is poplife.store. Poplife.store. And so once you're on that website, you'll have no questions as to whether or not you're on the right one, because it's got that fun branding, Pop Life, and it looks like a big fun comic strip. And then, of course, following her on Instagram, and just scroll down and see all the fun flavors, the creative, that barbecue. I've never heard of barbecue popcorn before.
Popcorn. I'm excited about that one. That's because, it's June, July. You got barbecue, and, we're going to try to make it a lot of fun. Father's Day is coming up in June as well. So we'll have all of that available. I thought we were bringing back the banana pudding, but not yet.
Okay.
Like August. Have a whole picnic.
I love it. Well, I'm excited because I'll be right there at the fellowship market ready to chime in and taste it and all that good stuff. Well, Veronica, thank you so much,
You're
so
welcome.
much for coming and sharing and just bringing your joy and your heart and your wisdom, your story, all of the above. It's just been truly a blessing to have you
Thank
on
you very
here.
much. Thank you. I've really
Absolutely.
appreciated meeting you. I knew God, just the fact that we, once we started talking, we had so many friends in common. It's just outstanding to, that this is God driven. Just like that. There we were. So you
Yes.
are so contagious and so fabulous. I love everything,
Oh,
about you.
thank you.
I'm
Well,
honored. Thank you.
thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
We will definitely have you back.
Yay.
And then of course we just want to make sure that if you are not yet following her on Instagram, and if you've never visited her store, please do that. And then for those of you that are in the Southern California area, the Fellowship Market is this month. We will be promoting it next week, but it's this month. I want to say, is it the 24th of June?
It is. Yes, I think so.
Okay. The
No,
24th
not
of
the
June.
4th. No,
Not the
because
24th.
that Sunday is the 20th.
Okay, I'll have
So
to give the
1, 2,
right
3, 4, 5.
information.
The
27th.
26th.
Oh, 26.
26th. Yes, 26th. And do come because they have a lot of great vendors. I mean, the Fellowship Market, I'm gonna plug it real good because it's a
Yes,
really
plug
great
it in, plug it
market.
in.
It's so they got for all that I earn, I probably spend about half back because they have candles and a lot of really creative people, not just candles. I can't think of everything off the top, but it's a beautiful market. And
Yes.
you get great pricing when you come to the market because you can't get the same pricing online that you do at the market. So come
There
on
you go.
out.
Come on down. Come on, hang out with us on the 26th of June,
Yes.
Saturday. The Rock in Anaheim. It's outdoors under these big old white tents. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then you can see firsthand all the fun popcorn flavors that Veronica's
Yeah.
got going on there with Pop Life. So, all right. Well, you've been a blessing, Veronica.
Thank
Just the
you.
Lord bless you in everything that you do. And I'm just excited to see what's in store. I know there's some good things in store for you.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
absolutely. All right.
Bye,
Thank you
everybody.
so
Thank
much.
you.
All right. Bye-bye. My goodness. So yes, that is Pop Life Popcorn. If you have not yet checked out her website, please do that. Please go visit her Instagram. This popcorn, this one is the cheddar. It's sweet and salty, and it is so good. Oh my goodness, it is so good. Okay. I should not have done that. As we are getting ready to bring our next guest out, equally an incredible woman with an incredible story. Before we do bring her out here, we have a quick message to you from She Is Single, She Is Strong.
All of my dating experiences were very short-lived. I mean, it was almost like I would probably say none of my relationships lasted longer than 6 months, even that, maybe 4 months. It was just not even, I was in these relationships not long enough to even get to a place of just a serious conversation about marriage because it would just, end. But it was one, guy after another and thinking that would be the one to, sort of fill that hole and, just me, wanting to be loved and, have that unconditional love and, be okay. And I just remember, just having my heart broken, and one heartbreak after another, right? It starts to build and disappointment sets in, right? And then anger comes up, right? It's just a myriad of emotion.
So that is She Is Single, She Is Strong. It is a docudrama that will be released this fall, as well as a video series. And so for those of you single women that are out there, mark your calendars. And if you haven't yet visited the website, do go check it out, sheissinglesheisstrong.org. And it is a single gals tribe, a lot of great things that are just now starting to kick off on there. And so, and then, if you have any questions, just reach out to us. We would love to answer any questions you have. Okay, so we are so excited about our next guest. This woman is amazing. She is committed. She has a love for people. She has a love for God. She really wants to see you soar and become the very best version of yourself, not just externally, but on the inside and externally as well. And so she's committed to seeing you reach your goals. And I love this woman truly. She's helped me reach some of mine and even surpass some of mine. And so I am so excited to bring out today here with us on our virtual set of A New Thing Live. Would you please welcome Kelin Covington? Yes, that is her right there. Kelin, the girl Covington.
Hi. Oh my gosh. It is so good to see you.
It's so good to see you. How are you? How have you been?
Oh, I have been great. I have been absolutely great. It's funny because I was telling your producer, getting home, I just got off of work at like 6 o'clock and I work in Santa Ana in the prison, and I drove to Harupa Valley. So like in my car trying to get here. Got everything set up, so forgive me, my pulled back law enforcement bun, but I got my keep showing up t-shirt on.
Yeah.
I brought my guns with me too.
Yes, girl, you did bring your guns. You did. Well, how have you been doing? I mean, so you're in the prison. How have things been going during the pandemic before we jump into your story?
It's been a lot. It really, really has been. It's been very controversial, very political. But the officers that I work with on a day-to-day basis, we show up and we do our job. And it's a very, unusual place to work. I deal with people that most people would not want to deal with, to be honest.
Sure.
But I can say through this journey, being a woman of faith and a believer, God works. God works in such massive ways. And being on the inside, I see God's diligence even more in a very profound way. And demonic attachments as well, things that spiritually they're just right in front of your face and you kind of see it in people. So I've been very, very active in my prayer life, in praying for people that I come into contact with, and it's a difficult job, but I love it, and I know that God has placed me there for a reason, and I'm honored to be there. I'm honored to serve. But yeah, it's really like my journey that has led me here. I see why I had to go through everything that I had to go through to be the person that I am working where I'm at. So just God continues to amaze me in so many ways. But yeah, God is alive and well in our prison systems. It's really, really pretty amazing.
Amen. Oh, I love hearing that. That just blesses my heart. Last week we actually had a business owner, entrepreneur. I don't know if you ever knew Ryan Morgan, but he had been in prison. And now he owns a company called Aqua Equity that gives back to the community. And his story was so inspiring because he was just sharing, like, literally the minute he was getting arrested and thrown in prison, he just said, this isn't the legacy that I want to leave. And so he made a decision in prison, and he was locked up. He said his cellmate was a gentleman from another country. I think he was Armenian, and he said he spoke very little English, but he read the Bible, and he said they would sign to each other, but it was this gentleman who led him to the Lord. And so when he got out, I mean, his whole 180, so hearing his story was so inspirational. He went to school, he got his master's degree, and now here he has this, company that they're giving back to the community. It's called Aqua Equity. I had their water last week. It was so good. And so, it's wonderful just to see people of faith in those places, though, because the Lord he wants to minister and meet your need right where you're at. It doesn't matter what your room situation, whether you're in a cell or you're in a mansion, same God, right? And he just loves us so much. So it's just wonderful that. Oh, I thought you were saying something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No. I was like, oh no, go ahead. No, you go.
Pause. I'm like, wait, is that a reception problem right now? What's going on? No.
And I'm like,
I was getting ready to say that God, if you latch onto God in whatever situation you are in life, and it's amazing how everybody's journey is different and how deep some people have to go to find God. But how the uniformity of us as individuals, no matter where we are in life, if we make that decision to seek God, he can bring us out of any situation and turn it around for us, and while being in prison might be a blemish in society, God can still do something with you and with that. So that's really remarkable, and it just shows God's promises. God promises us that, and he never fails. He never
fails.
Ever.
It's like he did it for Joseph,
He did it for Paul. Yeah.
Yes. He sure did. He sure did. I love that. So we're so glad. I mean, you have been very instrumental in my life, and I don't even know if you know, but when you took the time to break down kind of my eating, and really it goes all the way back to OHL, because you were one of my coaches in OHL, which is Operation Healthy Lives.
Yeah.
And, you would get up there and each of the coaches would kind of have a session and lead, you would even spend time teaching us as students. And
I loved it.
Your story, there was so many things I didn't know about you, but your story really moved me. And I felt like, you as one of the coaches in my life really helped inspire me to do what I needed to do to get it done. And to the point now is I haven't even started walking. Like even now during all this, I might walk 1.5 miles a week, but I latched on to even the eating that you had sent me. And during this pandemic, I've lost about 45 pounds.
Wow.
Without working out. I know that I need to do it. But I've just been latching on to just being to the discipline of eating right and eating healthy and putting the right things in my body I feel like a different woman, Kelin. I mean, I have so much energy. It's ridiculous. I'm like, I don't even know, like, how did I do it before? I don't even know how I did it. So I want to personally thank you. And so when you were sharing about, you have a love for people and you want to serve people, and I'm like, that is who you are, because I feel like I'm a walking testimony of your coaching ministry, even though we're not even meeting on a regular basis. I mean, this is probably the first time we've connected in about 6+ months, right? So thank you so much, for that. And, I know that, you have, and then you have this whole other where you were a bodybuilder, girl. I mean, I've seen some pictures of you. And then you were like, you ranked like 10th in the nation. You were doing bodybuilding for so long. And, now I don't think you're doing bodybuilding now. But I mean, girl, you fit, that's for sure. So talk to us about some of that, how long you were in the bodybuilding arena, and then, you're coming out of it and then being at the place where you are today.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm fit, but I'm fit in a different way. And when I look back and I look at my journey, just talking about latching on to God wherever you're at in life. My father had a stroke in 2010. So I was on the road. I was a singer and I was traveling and living my dream. And my father had a stroke, debilitating stroke that paralyzed him. And he was bedridden and in diapers, which was absolutely the worst blow that could have happened to him and to myself. He was my, he was my best friend. My dad and I just were thick as thieves. So him going through that was absolutely devastating. And to see him go through it and to not be able to help him past my means, it was very difficult, very, very difficult. I latched on to God in that time, as I always do in any season of my life. But at that point, it was one of those seasons that it was like I was angry. I was questioning why did this have to happen to him? I would be praying on the floor face down, just like crying and sobbing, understanding. And while it didn't come in the form that I thought that it would, God always proves himself to be true. And our time frame is not God's time frame. I wanted immediate answers and immediate results, and it just didn't happen. So I found myself in what the world would call depression. I feel that was, I try not to label or claim things in my life because I don't accept it as what it is. I was sad. The bottom line, I was sad, and I couldn't kick it. I couldn't get past it. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to function. I didn't want to deal. I didn't want to cope. I wanted to stay in my little corner of the world. And it just got to a place where it wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy for me emotionally, physically, spiritually. I was eating emotionally. I was going through a lot. So God told me one day, get up and walk with me. Just get up and walk with me. So I started that journey of trying every day, like literally like just to take a shower and put some clothes on and put my tennis shoes on and walk. And so walking for me is like I walk with God. Those are my walks. Daily are my walks with God. And he started ministering to me and to my spirit and waking me up again and calling me to do fitness and to start daily getting my body, whipping my body into shape, beating my body down, which then allowed for my mind and my body and my spirit to then start connecting again. There was a total disconnect there. So when I started eating better, when I started physically giving my body what it needed, and when I was praying daily, for me, those three things, those three elements is what brought me back to my center. And that's part of my coaching is I tell people, the Bible tells us we have to pray every day. And going through our immaturity or our first stages of coming into God or getting to know God and seeking God, prayer sometimes isn't easy because we don't want to do it. We don't know what to pray. We don't know how to pray. We don't know what we're praying for a lot of the times. And it kind of becomes something that you maybe start really like hard and then it kind of tapers out. And the same thing with exercise. So exercise to me is like the analogy I give is prayer to the body. The prayer to the mind and to the spirit is us speaking and praying to God. But exercise is the equivalent to prayer to our body, where it's something that we don't want to do a lot of the times every single day. It hurts. We go through moments where we just don't have the energy or the desire to do it. But when you force yourself to do what is good for you, you will find that discipline comes a practice. And that's the way that God can really shape us and form us to be the tools that he wants us to be. So bodybuilding kind of became like the pivotal place that I pursued. Why? Just because I am that type of person where it's like, I'm going to set a goal and I'm going to like reach for the stars and I'm going to try to do everything. But God blessed me with my cousin who is a professional bodybuilder. She's amazing. And she came and she lived with me. And, God is so perfect in his design because I saw her routine and I was like, dang, this girl is intense. Like up at 4:30, running 5 miles a day, eating, preparing her food, like, and she didn't have moments of weakness. It was amazing, but her prayer life was so intact. So I said to her, I want to do what you're doing. Like, I want a taste of this. So I started eating how she was eating, and I started working out with her. And before you know it, I was like, okay, I want to compete. So I competed in a show, and that first season is when I ranked 10th in the nation. And then I just kind of was like, okay, this is awesome. I'm really enjoying this journey. I had my son and put on baby, weight. And then again, it was like, all right, I got to get back in it, got to get back in the game. So then I competed again for a few more seasons. And that journey was amazing because it really stripped me down to nothing. And it allowed for God to build me back up. It body built me, it spiritually built me, and it mentally built me back up. And it was a pretty amazing journey.
Wow, that's so powerful. I mean, just in the regard where you had this opportunity to be mentored by somebody who was already living that lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it was easy for you to be able to see what they did, and then to, I don't want to say mimic or parrot that, but you applied it to your life.
Mm-hmm.
So that you could reach those same type of goals as you were seeing, the goals that your cousin was getting by living that lifestyle, waking up early. And I'm going, oh my goodness, 4:30 in the morning. That's early.
Like,
5 miles a day. Oh my goodness.
And and that's like, for some people it's like, oh, I run 15, but I mean, she did it every day. She did it every day without fussing about it. And that's what was so impressive to me, because that's what I encounter with myself and with the people that I coach. Is it's the pull from what we have to do. We have to pray. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We have to center ourselves daily. If we don't, we're going to get beat up before we leave out of the house. It's like, these are, when you form a discipline, like you see with your food, when you become disciplined, you get results. And it's not always fun at the beginning, but once you start getting the results, it's like, wow, now you want more of it. And that applies to everything. And the connectivity of all of that, to me, like when I stand back and look at it, it's like, wow, God is just, it blows my mind how all of those things that he tells us in the Bible that are important to do in life, when you actually start applying it, you see the unfolding of it. And no, it's not easy. It's not, but man, like, it becomes a lot of fun. You see God's hand. So my cousin being there at the time, like, that was all perfect design. She needed to be there. And her example was enough for me to like say, okay, this is something I want to try. But that was all just God, and because I was praying, I feel at that time, it allowed me to be open to receive that. And one of Pastor Jerry's sermons, he has amazing sermons, he's just an amazing pastor. But one of them was about like the that is planted in our heart. And when Mary heard and that seed was planted, that she was going to get pregnant and have Jesus, how she kept that inside of her. She didn't, and she rejoiced in that moment when that seed was planted. She rejoiced as if it was truth. She, not for one moment did she doubt, or did she ask how or why or when or nothing. She just rejoiced. And so I feel like that's what I was missing, and what I feel like the people that I love on and that I coach, that's what we're missing, is God plants a seed in that idea or that dream that come to us, or that whisper or that inspiration or whatever it is that you're feeling called and compelled to, and you don't know why, but it seems way too out of reach and too big. That the distance between the idea and the outcome is you rejoicing it and putting your feet in that direction and not asking how, because God is working on it. It's already done. It's us receiving that and knowing, his promises are true. For I know the promises he has for me, plans not to harm me, but give me hope in the future. And if I rejoice in that moment when I can't see it, that's how it's planted, and that's how it's born, you know? God, that sermon just like, oh, it sticks with me, because that's training. That's any discipline in your life. That's any dream that you have. That's bodybuilding. That's losing weight. It's whatever it is that you feel God has put on your life. That's the key, is rejoicing it, not questioning it, just believing it. And for a lot of people, fitness is very difficult because, again, it's a strain. It's different. It's something, I have this scripture that I just love, because it really kind of touches on that. You know, how important. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, that is crafted in him, joined to him by faith in him as Savior, he is a new creature, reborn and renewed by the Holy Spirit. The old things, the previous moral and spiritual condition have passed away. Behold, new things have come, because spiritual awakening brings a new life. And again, like, God's promises never fail, right? And when we decide that we are going to do something new, and latch on to that desire, to that dream, be goal-oriented, right? For yourself on a consistent basis, and don't think about how it's going to happen. Just put one foot before the next. Walk with God every day. Journal, journal, journal. Goal set, goal set, goal set, and be in it, and rejoice that seed has been planted. And before you know it, you'll be looking back, and you will see that journey has taken place, and God has carried you through it. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful how bodybuilding for me is God. It's spiritual. It's not how you look. You know, because when I was bodybuilding and I was in like the best shape of my life, I might not have been emotionally the best. You know, I felt not as healthy as you would think, as somebody who's a bodybuilder. But physically, I was like, yeah, you know, I got six pack and all that. But God still had to minister to me that it's not what's happening on the outside. It's what is happening on the inside. That is where the true work is happening. And a strong mind equals a strong body. So once all of those things kind of weave together, you know, I could sit back, and it wasn't about how I looked anymore. It wasn't about the fluctuation of pounds and weights and all that stuff. It was how I felt on the inside, and how hopeful I was, you know, with the journey that God had put me on.
So good. My goodness. That whole idea of the rejoicing in what has been promised to you, that's so key, I think, across, you know, every area of our life, you know, not just like regarding the physical. I mean, that applies to every area. I love that. And then I think you're absolutely right. I think when you rejoice in that, and the things that you have not yet seen, and you just begin to take those steps. We were talking about it even earlier with Veronica, like in the business side of things. I mean, she just said she really had to just take one step after the other. And then before you know it, you're able to look back and see how far you've come, you know, and I think, if you were to say there were three things that maybe, you know, you would recommend to somebody, I would say, you know, rejoicing should be one of those things. Because I was going to, you know, ask you, you know, what would be maybe three things that you would tell somebody that they're wanting to see a change in their outward. But I also think that, again, it goes back to what's going on internally as well.
Three things I think would definitely be trusting in what it is that God has put in you, trusting God's word. And if there's any uncertainty, go back and look, find it in his word, because it's there. Promises for are there. So see God and goal oriented with what his promises are. Find somebody. And I'm a personal trainer. I'm a coach, and that those are things that I absolutely love. But those labels, I feel like, are so saturated sometimes. Where personal training, yes, I'm very personal with the people that I'm with, and we together are training, because it never stops, never ever stops. We are constantly training ourselves until the day that we, that we die. We constantly have to put this practice in, like you're saying, one foot before the next. It's a discipline. We fall short. Things happen, but finding a community of people, finding a coach or personal trainer, somebody who is going to be there for you, to communicate with you, to share stories with, to just so you know that you're not alone in this journey. People have been from where you are to where you want to go, and they help fill that void, and they help connect that, so find somebody who you can trust, who is a faithful person, who, has very good intentions. God provides. So money is something that I don't feel goes hand in hand. Like, yes, this is, a life that I've chosen in some aspects that has to help promote that, but God provides. So money is not the pursuant. So if you find that, you're finding a trainer and it's like eaten into your wallet, that might not be the correct place to be, because you want somebody who you can call and who you can have a conversation with and kind of put you back on track. But the thing about a coach is they can't do it for you. I cannot prepare the food. I cannot force you to get up. So the desire has to be there. The desire has to be so palpable and just there. Like, nothing is going to stop me. I'm not going to take no for an answer anymore. I am sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And like, your previous interviewee, Veronica, when she was talking about fear, the fear of not succeeding, the fear of the pain that you're going to incur, the fear of the changes that are unknown and unseen. Like, you can't live by those things. You have to be so over the way that you are living, that desire is just burning inside of you, that you're going to seek the person and you're going to set the goals. So those would be my 3 things.
All right. So you're saying to trust what you sense that he's leading you to do. Seek a person of accountability, or someone that can train you, and then setting your goals. Those are the 3 things.
Well, really, the desire, like making sure that the desire is it's at full, because
Gotcha.
If somebody wants help, the work comes from them. It's not going to come from the coach. It's not going to come from anything else. So that desire, you have to really fish for that desire in you. And if that's really what you want, then you got to go for it.
And that makes sense, because I feel like for me personally, that's kind of where I ended up, I think I shared with you on my back, all these different things were happening at that same time when I was trying to get my life back on track. And I remember just one night, just like literally in tears and just saying, I'm so young. I don't know why I feel this way. And I just, cried out to the Lord, like 2 a.m. and I was just crying and, and I was just asking him, and I felt like he just so, was like, you need to just, if you do this, and you walk this out, I will give you the strength to do it. And so I didn't, of course, during the pandemic, I didn't really even have that accountability, but I did have the desire. And I latched on to that. I latched on to some of your wisdom and then his wisdom. And and then with those two things combined, and I do feel like the next phase will be, the walking. And I love that the Lord said, come walk with me, because I think that's something that's so simple and yet could make a huge difference, like the difference of night and day. So maybe somebody even right now is just saying, I have a desire to get fit again. I'm not saying that we're going to go back to when we were 18 or when I was a cheerleader in college. Like, obviously, I'm not saying that, I look at that little tiny skirt and I go, dang. I don't remember being this small. That was me in college. That's crazy.
It's so true. It's so true.
I'm like, was I a little bird? Like, what was... But at the same time, I do know that I at the end of the day, I said, Lord, but what I do want is longevity. You've called me to impact. You've called me to be a world changer in this area or this sphere. And so who am I to shorten that? Who am I to take my life and my days for granted? All that you paid for me on the cross is certainly for me to not just go and eat however I want to eat, and then just, what I was doing before. And so, so absolutely, I think, having that desire and then latching on to God. And I think a lot of the things that you talked about, journaling and praying, and, somebody might say, well, I'm missing the mark. I'm not hitting that every day, but just do what you can do today.
Yeah.
Taking a little bit of even what Kelin is mentioning and just start today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We can't be too hard on ourselves. We have 4,000 weeks. 4,000 weeks is the lifespan of the average person. 4,000 weeks. And now when I say that number, it's like, that doesn't seem like that much for a lifetime, for 80 years or so. 4,000 weeks, So yeah, we're gonna have days that are a little bit more difficult than others. And we have to identify why. Why is this day? Why am I going through this? Let God help you tap into these emotions so we can become more balanced and we can have more consistency. My coach tells me consistency and determination equal results. And, we all want the result, but the equation is consistency plus determination. And we're going to fall off. We are, just in our prayer life, we're going to fall off. But we pick up that Bible, we pick up our journal, and we read it. You got to pick up your tennis shoes, you got to put them on, and you got to get out. If you want to minister to your body the way that the Bible ministers to our spirit, and you have to allow it to happen. And you're reluctant going out the door, but man, when you come back in, it's like, just the same thing with prayer. Sometimes I know when I was an early Christian, it's like I was reluctant. I don't know. It was the pull, it was whatever it was that was trying to keep me from what God had for me. So that reluctancy of like, oh, today I didn't pray. But when you do, on the other side of it, you just feel amazing. So exercise is the same thing. And I just encourage everybody who is feeling that the lack of motivation, that it doesn't take, you going out and joining the CrossFit gym tomorrow and squatting 500 pounds and doing 6,000 sit-ups. Like, it's not that. It's getting your mind tuned in to, this is what has to happen. And I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk around the block. And I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to be thankful, and I'm going to be grateful, and I'm going to look at my.
We didn't catch everything that you were saying, but it looked good. Like when you were stopped, it'd be. Yeah.
It's like I see the screen going black. I'm like, okay, what's happening here?
Oh wow, no, I could see you. It just was like It was breaking up. Yeah. Oh no.
No, I was just I don't know what part it left off on, but just being consistent and being determined to daily do something, whether you want to or not, and just decide that that's going to happen, and you will get the result. And God will never fail. He will never ever fail. So. It's a journey. It's a journey, and it might not happen overnight. It most likely won't happen overnight, but you have to embrace that journey and embrace the seed that has been planted and know that when you continue to water it, it will pass that surface. It will grow into something, and you have to continue to water it, and just trust and believe the process. But, you know, most of all, believe in yourself. Believe that you can do what you have set out to do, and that God will work on you and renew you and constantly challenge you to be the person that he has put you here to be. And then you go out and you inspire others. And that's the beauty of it, you know?
Yes. Well, yes, certainly being consistent is key. And even if you miss the mark on a day, then, you know, don't let that be reason to throw it all out the door. You know, let's just say, okay, today, now this is a new day. Or you can even say, you know what, I messed up this morning, but I'm going to start right now. It doesn't even have to wait a whole day. You can just start like right now, you know, and so I love that. I love that whole idea.
You have to be conscious. You have to be conscious, right? And when you break down your food and you break down your moments, you're conscious with what your next move is, your next meal is. And that's how we should be. We should be in the moment. We should be living, not be futuristic. We should be, and it's perfect. You might have messed up, you know, a while ago, but now let's get back on. And that happens all day, right? Like all day, I might do this wrong, or, you know.
I'm thinking she'll come back. She's frozen for a bit, but definitely talking about the importance of the consistency and being centered and just being present and being in the moment. And I do hope that she comes back because I know she was wrapping up, but truly just a motivational woman, so inspiring and just so full of so much wisdom. And she's so committed to the process, which I love. You know, Sonia, if she does pop back, you know, feel free to put her back in as we're wrapping up. There you go. There you go. I was just saying how wonderful you were and that we were hoping we would get to say goodbye to you. I don't know. I know. No, it's all good. Well, it's truly been, though, just thank you so much for all that you have shared, just about, you know, the consistency, being present, being in the moment, latching onto God, latching onto his word, latching onto his promises, rejoicing in the process, trusting the process. So many good things that I have written down, you know, having the desire, yes, being goal oriented and having your goals and journaling and walking with God, but also having the desire to see that lifestyle really be what you're after. And it doesn't mean that you're going to go from A to Z, and it's not going to happen overnight. And so all of these different things are things that you've shared. And I so want to thank you so much for your commitment to us, you know, to people, for your love that you have for each of us, just to really be the best versions of ourselves, you know, on the inside out, and then teaching us what you know. I've so just very much appreciated that. So it has been wonderful having you, and I'm sad that we missed some of what you said at the very end, but thank you. I mean, you from Santa Ana in your car to Jurupa to, you know, I mean, girl, you're like, I'm committed to this process.
I am. I'm committed. I know there's somebody out there that needs to hear this and needs to know that there are people fighting for you and that God loves you, and that, you know, I mean, if you want somebody to talk to, I know that you have my Instagram handle on there, but at Kelin Fit, DM me, and, you know, let's connect, and let's help build one another up. You know, there's something to take from everybody, and I have not arrived, nor will I ever have arrived until I cross over and I'm with God, you know. So it's people helping people, and us inspiring one another on this journey. And God is working in so many different areas of my life, you know, as we speak, like I told you earlier with my job. And I actually have horses, so I like to take the people that I coach out there, so we can get connected with nature and, go through that whole process. So yeah, hit me up.
Yes. Well, we do. Let's bring her information up on the screen. She mentioned it, but her Instagram is @KelinFit, @KelinFit, and you're just going to get a remarkable coach, a remarkable time of encouragement. And I just really think you would see the growth on the inside and then go, oh my goodness, I didn't realize it was all of that. I just thought it was this, but there was so much more, just because, Kelin, you bring that out in us. So just thank you for your love, and thank you for coming on tonight and just sharing your heart with us about really what it means to just change and be the very, very best version of ourselves from the inside out. And then the physical just comes as not as an afterthought, but it's a result of what's happening internally.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you, girl. We love you.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for your love and your desire to help people and to bring our stories to life. And you and your team just do such an amazing job, and I love you so much, and my sister, and I can't wait to see you again and give you a big old hug. And congratulations on your journey. I'm so proud of you. I mean, 45 pounds is that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And keep it up, keep working, keep putting one foot in front of the next. And
amen.
Thank you for what you're doing.
All right. Well, we love you. Thank you so much for those beautiful words. And then we'll be sure to share a little bit of a recap of what you've shared, because it really it's vital, I believe, for every person. So thank you so much for bringing that to us tonight.
Thank you. All right.
All right, Kelin. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, there was a lot of meat in that. And so if you didn't catch all of it, we will have just some of the nuggets of what she shared up on our website this week, because it truly was remarkable. I mean, even if you latched onto 3 of those things, such good content and such good wisdom, sound wisdom there. From a woman who's walked it out, and then a woman who's helped so many of us walk it out as well. So we wanted to share her with you. We didn't want to hold her all to ourselves, because she really is a gift meant to be shared, and you will just love her. She's an incredible woman. And who doesn't love horses? My goodness, I didn't know that horses were a part of her training program. I love horses. I got my cowboy boots and everything. So thank you guys so much for joining. In 2 days, we've had Yvette Osborne on here before. In 2 days, she and I are going to be doing a Wake Up Wednesday on Instagram Live. That's in 2 mornings, not tomorrow morning, but the morning after, 8 a.m. Pacific time. It'll be on Instagram TV on A New Thing Live, and she's got some fun things that she's going to share just about other ways to get your body to wake up and to just get your body in the groove of things. So we have all these wonderful trainers and fitness and health coaches, and Yvette is a health coach advocate. And so I love what's happening. I love the collaboration, and it's just so important. We're not meant to do life alone. We're not meant to do this alone. The Bible says that 2 are better than 1, and that it is not good for man to be alone. And this is why we have other experts and people coming and sharing what they're doing and how they're doing it, so that it'll inspire you to say, oh, yes, I can do that. I want to do that. I want to attain that. I want to reach that. So there's nothing that's too far out of reach. And remember, if it's something that's in your heart, and I like to say this, and if it's been there for a while, and if you've been thinking about it for quite some time, like years, then that might be something that's supposed to be new, that's supposed to happen in your life. So don't disregard that. Don't discount that. But again, we just want to thank you for joining. We want to give a huge thanks to tonight's special guests, Veronica Bruny of Pop Life Popcorn, and Kelin Covington, our fitness trainer tonight. 2 remarkable women. And if you missed any of it, just go back and watch from the beginning. And you can feel free to fast forward through my stuff, because really it's their stuff that's important. Don't forget Pop Life Popcorn. We do have that fun little Insta story contest Just taking a little picture of you smiling, a selfie, and then just posting on Insta Story, tagging A New Thing Live, and tagging Pop Life Popcorn. Actually, they're called Pop Life Thrill. And you do that, and it'll enter you in the contest to win a popcorn of your choice. And actually, Pop Life said they'd be throwing in 2 more bags because we were going to be doing a bag of their hot tamales. And she said, oh no, we'll throw. So it's 3. You're going to win not 1, but 3 bags of Pop Life popcorn. So that's been a lot of fun. Hey, don't forget, if you haven't yet subscribed to A New Thing Live on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. If you have not yet subscribed to us on YouTube, then go ahead and do that. Hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so that you know and you are alerted when we are live. And don't forget to share the show. There might be someone that you know from tonight's show that may be in that bind where they may find themselves out of work and maybe they're toiling and tossing around an idea and say, you know what, I just saw somebody who did that very same thing, or maybe someone that you know that's saying, you know, I just want to get back in shape. I want to become a healthier version of what I am now because I'm just not feeling all that great. And whether it's that, A or B or C, maybe it's none of the above, and you just go, you know, I'm just going to share the show, then do that too. Of course, we'd love to have you do that. Okay, so this is our thing. Let the past be the past. Don't remember the former things. I'm not saying don't remember it happened yesterday, but I'm saying sometimes we want to harbor on those things or think about something and keep replaying these things in your mind that are not healthy. Stop it. Don't do it. Like, let it go and let's move on. There's work to be done. There's people to love. There's people's lives to change. There's joy to bring. There's love to bring. There's change that needs to happen in our own lives. And sometimes we keep looking back, and that's going to keep you from really moving forward and getting a hold of that thing that's in front of you. So God's word promises in Isaiah 43, behold, I will. He said, I will do a new thing. Would you let him? He said, behold, I will do a new thing. And not only that, he promises not only to make a road in the wilderness, but also to provide rivers in the desert. Come on, somebody. Any of you thirsty out there? Yes. If you like me, then you say yes. I always want to be drinking some water, some coffee, some tea. So I'm all excited about him providing rivers in the desert because I don't like to be hot or parched, but be expectant and on the lookout for that new thing that's waiting just for you. And only you know what that is. But I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Tonight was a little long, and it's okay because you can come back and finish watching it later. But mark your calendars for next Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll see you next week. Oh, don't forget, Wake Up Wednesday, this Wednesday on Instagram Live TV. But we'll see you next Monday on A New Thing Live. Have an incredible week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Are you ready?
Hey, help us get the word out about our new show. Subscribe today, right now, to A New Thing Live.